And that's the sweet beauty, but very soulful and talented musician we're bringing to you right here on the show today. And make sure you make a date with us with Miss V. You know, she's bounced back just about a year or two off the music scene. And I tell you, Sheriff is there and talking about all that we need to do. We also would have to tell you about Dear AM. We have a story today from Ken. You know, the story is a bit bizarre. You know, some of the things that people do. As a name pal, but it's like the feelings they come out my inside. And we have this story also from Ken, and it's featured for our segment Dear AM.
Dear AM, I have fallen out of love with my wife, and I do not know what to do about it. See, my wife hasn't wronged me. We've been married for 10 years and have 3 beautiful kids, 2 boys and a girl. I do not know how this happened, but I don't feel the connection or vibe anymore. My wife is still beautiful, even after 3 kids, and still treats me like a king, but I don't feel the same way towards her, and it's not as if I've been cheating or I am cheating. This out of love feeling has been there for like 2 years now, and it has affected our sex life too. Dear AM, I do not want to lose my wife or mess up my marriage, so please help me. King in Sawem.
All right, well, you know, sometimes relationships, marriages are for long term. Sometimes you can get the cold. Yeah, but we have Mama V Oswaboaje here. Mama V, thank you for joining us.
Charlie, I just like this letter that we received today.
Yeah.
Because it's
daily experiences,
yeah,
right?
man. Charlie, marriage ain't easy, you know?
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Just kind of.
And sometimes you feel like it's easy for the counselor to say, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. Charlie, it ain't easy.
Yeah.
So,
individually, even we talk among ourselves or
Exactly.
between ourselves, and sometimes you look at what the permutations are, and Charlie, it's some way. But really, that's what it is. And sometimes you just get to a certain saturation point, and it's just like, let's say, how we, in marketing, we have the product life cycle or economics, and sometimes you just don't know what to do.
I think the real thing is sometimes, it's not like you don't like him or her, you do. And I like the fact that this is like an open letter to us. This is open, because to get to that point and to want
like kind
to
of
share,
a test.
to get to that point and to want to share is a whole different story altogether. It's not like you hate the person or you don't, or you like her. But you're just not feeling it.
Yeah,
the vibe is simply not there. You're not vibing.
In this part of our world, we're not used to what usually you read in the magazines or see in real-time reality shows, etc. In which, in the the European or white societies, they say we're just taking a time off to cool off. And if we're interested, we'll come back or something of the sort. Or maybe I just want to give you some time,
It doesn't even happen in the Western world unless it's a movie or soap or something like that.
Sure.
Charlie, marriage is marriage. It's a serious thing. So we will do Dear AM later on. But you can send us your views if you've got any thoughts on that. And we want this to be as real as possible. So ordinarily, if you've been in this place before and you've been able to come out of it, you had some 1 or 2 bit that you did and it helped, kindly share it with us. We would love to hear from you. So we're going to put the WhatsApp, please let's put the WhatsApp number on the screen so people can send us WhatsApp messages on this one. And if you've got questions for Miss V as well, Miss V has been out a couple of days now, and she's been all over really. So if you've got questions, you've heard her before, but you still have questions for her, then send to us so we can put it across to her. All right. Okay, so Roland, let's do the newspaper, shall we?
Yes.
The Daily Graphic, the Ghanaian Times, the Finder, the Daily Statesman, which has changed color.
Yeah.
It's changed color. It's not all blue and white.
I'm sure maybe their printers are broke. Used to be color.
We have the Daily Guide and we've got the gold.
Or maybe their
well.
cartridge is finished.
This is a 2020 look. This is what we're talking about. Because it used to be like blue and white.
The new voters register.
Let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the graphic. 13 more parties support new voters register. There's Kofi Akpalu, leader LPG, who addressed a press conference by the 13 political parties. Was he on the ballot paper in 2016? Ambulance service to engage 900 additional staff. There's Professor Ahmed Zakaria, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Ambulance Service. A picture of him on the front page of the paper. Also on fair trade practices, Commission begins petition hearing. And that's the Ghana International Trade Commission, set up to check on fair trade practices. It's begun the historic hearing of petitions brought before it by some local companies to protect them against some unfair practices by foreign companies. At the Commission's first sitting yesterday, Aluex Limited prayed it to invoke its investigative and adjudicative powers against alleged unfair trade practices relating to dumping, subsidization and tariff adjustment perpetrated by some foreign entities that threatened the company's survival. Well, that was extensively covered in the news. In the center spread of the paper, though, 2 envoys received letters of accreditation. NCCE rolls out public engagement plan. So the National Commission for Civic Education has rolled out a strategic action plan and activities for 2020 to consolidate the gains the country has made as the beacon of democracy in Africa. I think one of the public institutions that, we should be proud of, they've been really active, even though they don't always have the funds to go with. They've been really creative about the way they do their work. Role, and I'm thinking is the National Commission for Civic Education. I think they've done really, really good.
Yes, and I think with the appointment of Madam
Charlotte,
Madam Josephine Nkrumah, we've had some ingenuity and some reinvigoration that has been put into the commission, knowing that many of the times
they don't get their statutory funds,
the budgetary support that they would need, because statutorily, they are supposed to complement the work of the Electoral Commission, but even have the oversight responsibility off peak when we don't have elections to always educate people on the rights, why you need to exert some sort of responsibility for those you vote and all that. Yeah.
So knowing what they don't have and what they're able to do to even be in the news all the time, for their name to be mentioned, I think it's a good strategy right there. But that's not to say that the state should not release the necessary funds to them. We're in an election year. It's crucial that this plan that they've put out would need funds to execute. To the back page of the paper, this is a familiar structure on my road because I see it all the time. It's the ongoing works at the Pokwase interchange. Work on 2 interchanges in Accra progressing, and it's like if you've been using the road, you'd see that they've actually really made progress. It's painful because of the traffic and the go slow,
but ultimately it will turn out well.
But you see that once you, especially like you see the pillars and you see that something is coming up.
What I'm excited about the interconnecting routes to the place. Ultimately, knowing the other settlements that are journeying the structure itself, and it's good. It's good. You will suffer now, but ultimately it will be good.
So it's just the after Pokwase is what I worry about, because I haven't heard that we're doing that road. Because that road is terrible. It's insane. After Pokwase, we should be talking after Pokwase now.
I'm sure the authorities will tackle it subsequently.
All right, let's do the Ghanaian Times next. Roland is like are you the Eugene Ahin of 2020? To the Ghanaian Times newspaper, front page of the Ghanaian Times, 13 political parties back EC to compile new voters register. Headsman nabbed for kidnapping boy, 10 demanding 20,000 Ghana cedis ransom. President presents credentials to 2 envoys to Libya and Niger. Well, this news, which is actually very tiny. JB Dankoy murder case, court cautions against ill treatment of accused. So the Court of Appeal judge, Justice George Boydi, yesterday cautioned prison authorities over alleged ill treatments meted out to Daniel Esiedu, accused of killing Joseph Boache Dankwa Edu, the former member of parliament for Boakwa North constituency in the Eastern region. He said Ghana is governed by the rule of law and persons held in custody have rights which must be protected by the state. Justice Bodi, who is sitting with additional responsibility as a High Court judge, gave the warning when the accused, who is charged for conspiracy to commit crime and murder, told the court that a senior prison officer violently attacked him with a knife last Sunday. Siedu, also known as Sexy Dondon, showed the visible marks on his body to Justice Bodi and said his life was threatened by the officers in charge at the Nsawam prison. His counsel, Augustine Obuo, expressed disgust at the conduct of the officer who allegedly tortured a Siedu and appealed to the judge to grant his client bail. Justice Bodi, however, reminded Mr. Obuo that the liberty of accused could be jeopardized if he was granted bail. All right, so there's more to what I have read. It's captured, well written, Malik Suleimana of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, so you can catch up. That you have no right to beat someone because they've been accused of a certain crime. That shouldn't be happening. Certainly, it shouldn't even come from prison officers who should know what the right thing is. But on the back page of the paper, health alert: strange disease kills cattle at the new 30 die in 10 days, and I pronounced it like it's a place in the Volta region.
It should be. Okay, I'll be surprised if it's not.
Okay, so I'll go to page 7. Yeah, I put an ever twist to it. So story says a strange disease has hit herds of cattle. This is a suburb of Yokitikbo and its environs in the Saltong district of the Volta region. The disease called suffer by the cattle owners due to the enormous pain it inflicts on the animals, has so far killed over 30, according to the story, 30 cows within 10 days. The disease begins with swollen and bleeding hooves and later metamorphoses into dark spots on the animal, leading to the swelling of the joint and tongue, making the animal unable to feed or drink water, resulting in rapid weight loss. That's painful. Leaving the details, the animal after a few days starts dripping saliva from the mouth and nostrils and unable to move long distances. I'll try and find what should you do if you start seeing signs of what I'm describing. Yeah. I guess just run to the vets.
I think so. But it's also because they're very scattered. We don't seem to have a well-structured cattle farming method or maybe system. As a result of that, we don't tend to keep the taps on them. And also because we just leave them to forage. Subsequently, we don't give them the needed attention, veterinary attention, I think.
Oh, so you know the other side of it. If you read the story, it says officials at the district's agricultural directorates who have already prepared their annual report said they have not been informed of the outbreak of any cattle disease in the area. But there's a district director of veterinary services, Dr. Jihadi Osebonsu, who says his outfit, even though they've not been informed, he was personally going to visit the area to investigate the cause of the disease, which is really good. Yeah. All right, I thought we'll do a little bit of this headsman issue on page 18. It says a headsman who allegedly kidnapped a 10-year-old boy at Kintampo in the Bono East region and demanded a 20,000 Ghana cedis ransom has been arrested by the police. The suspect, Muhammadu Fulani, was arrested in Yendi in the northern region where he was allegedly keeping the victim. A statement issued by the Ghana Police Service in Accra recounted that on January 6, Muhammadu took the victim alongside a herd of cattle belonging to the boy's father to Kintampo to the graze on the field, I guess to graze. It said later in the day the suspect called the victim's father on telephone to demand 20,000 Ghana cedis in exchange of his son's freedom. You know how it ended. You can read details of that on the back page. Encourage private sector to invest in oil palm industry. And Upper West Regional Hospital opens. It says the hospital was officially opened yesterday in Wat to commence admission, treatment, and rehabilitation of patients. The 160-bed facility, which was opened by the Deputy Minister of Health, starting operations with 280 medical and non-medical staff, comprising 6 medical doctors, a number of nurses and midwives, as well as hospital attendants. My prayer, let's take care of the facility. Cost us a lot. The final newspaper, front page, 13 parties, and this story is in all the papers this morning. The parties back in the new register say cost of a disputed election cannot be quantified. On Galamsey, $21 million required to restore degraded mining lands. Aluex petitions Trade Commission of unfair pricing dumping others. President presents 2 envoys with letters of credence. The last paper for me is the Daily Statesman. The 13 parties also here. NDC on the back foot as opposition groups aligns with NPP. NDC insults Ghanaian who needs, and this is a quote, who needs a campaign message? Stupid? Well, comes to the question, man, I'm not sure what this is really, but if you're interested, of course, you can read details of that in the paper.
Yeah, that Statesman look, it's like a 1950s paper.
Yeah.
So beautiful. And very vintage.
Aha, vintage, yes. I'm not sure I'll say beautiful.
Vintagely beautiful.
Which is unique.
Yeah. It's different. Okay,
we'll see if it's a printer issue or if this is like the new look.
I think that cartridge. So. All right, so let's go to the Daily Guide. It has on the front page, 13 parties back the Electoral Commission for new register. Has an attached picture of Jean Mensah, the chairperson for Ghana's Electoral Commission. Former CDS passes on the late Vice Admiral Matthew Kwashi. Also on the front page, a treason trial adjourned again. And we have Guinean envoy weeping at the Jubilee House. That story is brought to you by Gift Tiama Lawson.
So he didn't want to go back?
I think so. Ghana is so beautiful. You know, when you take the newly constructed edifices we have around, and the one being constructed to connect Pukwasi and the rest of Nsawam, where else can you be except Ghana?
Well, I could just stay and seek asylum.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, don't we have that happening from North Korea to other places?
Oh, well, unless in extreme reasons. Yeah.
But still, no, are we sure that was why? Because we're developing. I am making comments on the back of that. I was just going to say he should get a house here so that he can always come back. The man says he had a good time. He said, outgoing Guinean ambassador to Ghana, Arafan Kaba in Kaba, on Wednesday shed tears as he bade goodbye to President Akufo-Addo. Oh. I love Ghana. Ghana, they be. No, but Ghana
Arafan went to the Jubilee House for a short but a colorful farewell ceremony with his other colleague ambassadors from the other countries, India, we have Nigeria, etc. The fact that he was leaving Ghana for Switzerland, where he had been assigned as a Guinean, Switzerland also.
He's going to Switzerland.
As Guinean ambassador to that country and representative at the UN office in Geneva was not enough to compensate for his feelings of sadness for leaving Ghana.
Oh.
Hey.
But Ghana is really, listen, Roland.
Switzerland. Hey.
Listen, if
let a ship come and dock at Temahabo and say, hey.
No, I was going to say, but if you have everything going for you.
Yeah, he had, you know here, trouble no day.
Yeah, of course.
So you go there cool, they enjoy your dollars.
That's it. If you have the dollars, the better.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because if you melt it, it's a lot of money.
And that brings to mind some Ministry of Foreign Affairs officials I've met, some friends of mine over in the course of my career that I've met in some other African countries, and they are there cool. Some accountants and they're cool.
Complaining.
Some of them have, I know two have houses in Trazaco.
That's it.
Cool. Yeah. From here, then they move to here, then they are just within the space.
That's it.
They don't come to Ghana like 8 years. You know, I think each mission is for like 4 years. And so if you've been here, then from foreign country, you go to the next foreign country.
But when you say that, is that your corrupt?
Yeah, but that's why
Let's move on.
That's why we live. That's why we live, because of money. If we get somebody we like. Okay, so let's go
Roland
to...
will sell me. Oh my God. Have you done the negotiation already?
Let's go. Oh, say make I sell
Have you tried to auction me?
Oh, if we get like $5 million for each, I know go be bad. And you know, they tell me that for apart from exposure, they don't like going to the European country because whatever you earn, you spend it there. So they like the African countries cool way. Okay, let's go to the back page.
Like there.
Amen. Amen. Charlie, we don't want to leave Ghana. Amen. Daily guide, front page of the daily guide. That's on the back page. Says money begs for Senegal no show. And we also have don't condemn Olympics yet, and that's Prince George Kofi. Meanwhile, Allegri eyes the Man U job. Hey, supporters are already crying. How? Kotoko sack Abege. I hope I pronounced the name right. Now let's go to the Gold Street Business. Has on the front page, government absolved from cost of future fuel contamination after incurring some $300 million losses. We have Edwin Provençal, MD for Boss picture on the front page. Attached to the story.
Ah, that's the okay.
Incur $300 million. Petroleum to money where it inside. No easy.
They roll on the money.
Yeah. Esla bond, if it ever go retire for. Esla bond issuance ends today. Chop amount to pension. Falling inflation makes room for policy rate cuts. Okay. I think we're done.
Okay, we're going to go on myjoyonline.com, but I encourage you to send me WhatsApp messages. So here's one. Says, the man, and this is on Dear AM, the man should just let the woman go closer to another guy and his jealousy will arise, and I tell you, his love will bounce back.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
Solution provided.
Is that what you did? Zuberu, well, thank you very much for the lovely... Zuberu. Okay, thank you for the lovely comments. I like your name, like I love it.
Zuberu.
This one says, good morning, Dear AM. Thank God for your lives. We thank God for your life as well. How can you fall out of love and still don't want to lose your wife? The solution is he should just fix his mind well and be determined to be with his wife. For emotions can be controlled by first fixing the mind. Nana Nima Dennis from Espresso in Kumasi. I think this is a great suggestion as well. It's all in the mind, right? This one says, oh, Charlie, Lobby from Adan is commenting on my hair. You don't particularly like it, but listen, I love it. I did it for me, so get used to it. This one says, this is what our elders, so back to the issue, this is what our elders refer to as being a sibling to a partner when both marry for long. I think distance relationship helps to cure such phenomenon somehow. Okay, you make a very good point there. But if you don't have anywhere to go, you are not like on trek or something like that, and the two of you are in the same place, then there's nothing you can do about, but you have to find a way out of it. This one says, first of all, the gentleman with marital challenges should resort to fervent prayers. Secondly, he stated that his wife treats him as a kin. If he really wants to love his wife again, then he should reciprocate the deep love of his life, and he will enjoy his marriage. That's N2K in Dodo. Is my online ready for us to go? All right, but keep the messages coming through. We'll do Dear AM right after sports. So we'll share more of your comment. Roland, my online?
Yeah, so we have myjoyonline.com there. NSMQ 2020, that's National Science and Maths Quiz 2020 qualifiers. We have Archbishop Porter girls ready for SECO, now the secondary college threat, as Francis Xavier 6 double with Awa Senior High School. So brewing up. Coalition urges the Electoral Commission to engage opposers of new voters register. It's the battle for who agrees or does not agree for the Electoral Commission to compile the register. More minors being married off in Ashanti region. The statistics are staggering. Meanwhile, GBC disappointed GFA rejected its superior TV rights bid already. We have a response swiftly from the Ghana Football Association. Gamro pays 290 Ghana cedis to musician. Who cares them? The royalties, Charlie. Upgrade current system and forget new voters register. Bernard Mona. So, Volta region was our best experience according to NIA boss, who is administering workers who seem to be collecting money according to his own statement before they issue out cards to those who have been registered for the Ghana card. It was quite an interesting interaction Daniel Dadzi had.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kumasi hotel killing. Police investigate wife of prime suspect. Because the twists and turns in the stories or the accounts as they keep coming.
And I think people should take it easy. You know, people should not make conclusions. People should take it easy.
Yeah.
And the police, the investigators will also have to take it easy. Because you need to get to the bottom of it before you begin
I think the CID will do a good job on this subject because they're good at their job. All right.
All right. So more messages. We've got lots of messages on Dear AM. Here's another suggestion. Hello, Mama V and Roland. I think the man should try something new. He could go for a vacation with his wife and kids. That's Benedicta through Sarah. Benedicta is sending a message through Sarah. So hello to the two of you. Thank you for reaching out. There was another suggestion. There was something that was going to make you jealous. So I wanted to read it before we bring Benedict.
Have you cited it?
Says, good morning. Yes, I have. I can see Mama V is getting younger whilst Roland is getting older.
Well, I'm old.
Ro, be steady. It's from Maclab.
No more.
In Enchi.
I'm no more a 20-year-old man.
Hey, you're great. And then Thomas from Winneba is asking, what time will Miss V perform? Miss V is right after the AM. So, you know, today, don't even flip. Just stay with us.
Stay with us.
You enjoy every bit of what we're
doing. The AM is interesting. Then Sharif by Miss V is a comeback.
Is it Sheriff or Sharif?
Sheriff.
No, you just said it again.
Sheriff. The American.
I think my first question.
It's police, right?
Yeah.
It's for American
exactly.
law enforcement stuff.
So why did she use it for Ghana? I think it's one of the questions that we should be asking.
Yeah, we'll ask her why did she use Kuti or something?
Yeah, why are you not a musician?
No, I can't be a musician.
Choices. Benedict.
Yes, Benedict.
What up?